After Thursday night's loss against the Rams, De'Vondre Campbell and Deebo Samuel were big talking points after that game for multiple different reasons, but it was the situation nonetheless. So we have Deebo on his podcast ripping into De'Vondre Campbell and giving his true, honest perspective on what he saw with the whole De'Vondre Campbell situation. He kind of ripped right into him. And honestly, I think no one is here to defend De'Vondre Campbell for everything that we're speaking about, which is basically his football character. He's deserving of it. He brought it upon himself for the decisions that he's made, and he wanted to end his career that way, so he chose to do so. Take a listen to what Deebo Samuel had to say on the matter, and he didn't seem to hold back.
Thoughts on this? I mean, obviously, you can't speak too much on what was going through his mind because you're not him, but what are your thoughts on just the situation as a whole?
I just think as long as I've been here, there's always been a standard. There's always been, and it's not only is it coming from the players, but it's coming from the people up top, by the people that they've drafted since I've been here, including my class. And I think it's just like the standard that, Kyle, John, Jed, and them has built around here for us. Like, it's more so not all about the game. It's about brotherhood. It's how you treat the man next to you. And it's just how you come about work. And I look at this situation as in, like, he was brought in to replace Greenlaw, of course. That's why he came. And, I mean, I just look at it, kind of like from my perspective as, Drake Greenlaw as being, like, one of the captains, one of the leaders, one of the main vocal points on our defense. And I feel like we all knew. He probably kind of knew as well, like when Greenlaw came back and was healthy enough to come, he was, he's the guy, like one of the main guys on our defense. So at the end of the day, like I don't think I would, just say, fuck it, I'm not going in the game. Because at the end of the day, like, it's a standard. This 49er organization from, way before I got here, from listening to Jerry Rice and Steve Young and all those guys about, the culture that, that's built around this Niners organization. But I think it was a little, it was a little awkward for sure. I never seen no shit like that happen before. So, and I didn't know too much about it till people really got to talking about it. And I was like, what, like, when did this happen? And then, at the end of the day, more of the story, you just can't. I don't think, like, you should just quit on your team mid-game for sure. You can put all your pride to the side and just go out there and lay it on the line for your brothers that, you've been battling with since March, maybe, April.
Well, unfortunately, it feels like this is now he's going to be branded by this moving forward. Like, these teams do care about the culture and not giving up on your teammates. And now that's kind of what you're going to think of when you hear his name, which is unfortunate. Did the locker room after this, when you started to figure out what was actually going on, did it feel, I mean, you said the word awkward. Could you feel that from him? Did you even see him after the game?
Nah, I ain't seen him. I ain't seen him after the game, nah.
So he just bounced.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't looking for nobody after the game. I was like, bro, like,
Did it make you feel angry at all, just knowing how much this team has gone through? And you've had guys that have been through it and have stuck around and have shown up for their teammates, and then he did the opposite?
Yeah, I mean, I look at it as like a lot of people already spoke on it, but I mean, you got guys that's, dealt with like real life shit, like real life like situations.
Yeah.
And they battled, they came back, done everything they possibly can do to get back out there, and be a part of this team. And this situation is a little different. I don't think nobody like tried to do nothing to you, or nothing happened to one of your loved ones, or you battling through an injury, this, that, and the third. It was just the simple fact of, you was just like, nah, I'm just not going in.
Did that shock you at all?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I never seen that. Like,
So I think we've all kind of taken our turns laying into De'Vondre Campbell. I personally was really upset by the matter. I've said what I've said about it. No need to really repeat it. But in regards to Deebo's comments on it, again, I think, I'm fascinated to hear how these players think about this, because, I channel my perspective as being a former player, once putting on a helmet and going out there and doing it. And So that's how I think about things. But I'm not an NFL player, I'm not in that locker room, so I'm always curious to kind of see how they think about things. And from what we are hearing is, they just really didn't mess with it. And also too, when you hear him talk about it, he's like, there are people in this locker room who have had to deal with real world, like outside football life stuff that has been so devastating to have to handle and manage and go through that publicly and all those different types of things. And here you have this guy who, oh no, oh no, Trey Greenlaw returned. I don't have my starting job anymore. I was not expecting this. Like, come on. You signed on the dotted line. You knew Drake Greenlaw was going to return. What did you think this was? And he didn't play good this year. It wasn't even like, this is a hard decision. De'Vondre has been playing at an all-pro level, so this is really challenging to have to, bench you and sit you down, De'Vondre. No, it wasn't. It was the easiest decision that this defense has ever made, benching De'Vondre Campbell. So it is what it is. He turned into a big old baby and crying about his usage. Like, come on, man. It's been a rough year for so many people and so many different aspects of this. And in a moment that clearly everyone was celebrating the return of Drake Greenlaw, you choose to be a big old baby about it? Like, come on, man. And guess what? You could have turned out to be the hero of this game and you could have helped save the 49ers season. But no, you're selfish and you're just a punk. Like, come on, man. Like, violated every imaginable, like, hidden code of football locker room kind of rules and mentality and all of it. So that's why, like, with Deebo, like, dude, I've never seen that before. Like, it's that's the point. It's that what De'Vondre did is so, like, unfathomable to think about from a, you know, like a player's perspective that you can't even, like, quantify. Like, you just left everyone hanging. You took a roster spot, you dressed out, and you refused to go in. Like, what a punk. Straight up. And Deebo said as much. So I'm actually curious to see, Deebo kind of mentioned, like, he wasn't looking for De'Vondre. He was down because he had a down game. So I'm curious to hear what he has to say about that whole situation. I have not heard the podcast yet. I will post that clip because I'm very interested to hear him reflect on that week, the game, his performance, and that whole situation, and just see how he talks about it, because I didn't really like how he talked about his tweet. I didn't like his tweet, and I didn't like his performance. And so I'm curious. I'm just curious, as a captain on this team, as a leader on this team who played a big role in the 49ers season ending, what his thoughts are on it. And just want to see, uh, if there's humility, if there's accountability. And again, man, we all make mistakes. We all do things that we wish we didn't do. And, as long as Deebo's just like, yeah, I messed up, and you can feel the genuine, like, nature of it, I'm fine with Deebo after that. Like, we put that to bed, we squash it. But I just hope that's what we're gonna hear. So when I find it, I'll throw it up and we'll react to it. But that's Deebo's thoughts on De'Vondre. I'm curious to know what you guys think about this. Let me know in the comments below. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe for more updates.